I think the SotO strikes did a really great job of requiring players to learn and perform mechanics without requiring perfect group composition or super high DPS. Both can be achieved without too much trouble, as long as your squad members know how to handle the individual mechanics. Just a heads up, mild story spoilers are contained in these strike missions. The first SotO strike, Cosmic Observatory, is a fight against a possessed Dagda. The most unique mechanic to this strike is the green arrow mechanic. Throughout the fight, one randomly selected player will be targeted by a green arrow pointing to them. Like green circle mechanics elsewhere in the game, the group needs to stack inside the green arrow, and the targeted player should be behind the rest of the group, that is, farther from the boss. This will spread the upcoming damage among all players instead of just the targeted player. There is a simple spread mechanic that will occur, simply spread out from one another if you are targeted by this. The Soul Feast adds will spawn and target a single player and follow them around. This player should simply run the Soul Feast around the arena, safely away from the group. There will also be orbs on the ground you can pick up. Grab one and use it on the Soul Feast with your special action key to defeat it. It will also despawn after 25 seconds if you miss this. Dagda will occasionally gain a Defiance bar, which should be broken immediately to avoid an attack dealing very heavy damage. Finally, every 25%, Dagda will turn invincible and put a large damaging AoE in the center of the arena. During these phases, all of the adds need to be killed. After that, you can return to her and continue the fight. Other than that, this fight has a lot of typically telegraphed attacks, so as long as you move out of the stupid, stack behind the arrow target, and kill the adds, you'll be just fine. Temple of Febe, the second strike mission, is a little more challenging. This fight has a few more complex mechanics. For pretty much the entire fight, Ceres will stay in the center of the arena while his mechanics happen around him. For the first phase, he will begin rotating through his 6 attacks. I'll give a quick summary of these, but don't feel like you have to remember the details on each one. Once you see them, you'll know what to look out for. Greens. Stand in the green before they go off. Simple as that. Yes, you can stack them when there are multiple greens. Slam. Ceres does a large, unblockable attack. Spread. Players are targeted with an AoE and need to spread from one another, but more importantly, spread a little farther from the boss than you normally would. They drop a persistent damaging AoE under you, so you need to leave room for your group in the center near the boss. Wall. Ceres will occasionally do a Sabbatha-style flame wall, but instead of killing you, it does damage and steals your boons. Still, avoid it if you can. Orbs. Multiple orbs will move towards Ceres at the center of the arena. Players should stop them from reaching Ceres by simply standing in front of them. And Tether. One player will have a tether connecting them to the boss. Move away from him, and eventually it will spawn a clone of the player, which needs to be killed before it reaches Ceres to prevent empowering him. Ceres will move through these attacks between each phase. Failing any of the mechanics gives Ceres a stack of a boon called Empowered, which increases his damage output. At 80%, he'll gain a Defiance bar, and after breaking that, he will split into 6 embodiments, one for each of those skills we talked about. This is kind of the highlight of this fight, so this is how it works. 3 of the embodiments will be large and 3 will be small. Defeating any 2 of the embodiments will delete the rest and return the fight to Ceres. However, any large embodiment that wasn't defeated gets absorbed by Ceres, and the corresponding attack becomes empowered for the remainder of the fight. This is a little different from the general stacks of empowered that Ceres gets from failing the mechanics. These are instead a technical upgrade to his attacks, but they also do more damage. The larger embodiments rotate daily, and it's really up to the group commander to decide which to focus. But that said, the simple rule is that for the large embodiments, you should prioritize killing Despair, Envy, and Rage in that order. Again, after 2 are defeated, the fight will return to Ceres. At least one of his skills will now be empowered, which again just cranks all of them up to 11. Walls will spawn an additional faster wall, circles are increased from 1 to 3, and spread AoEs remain in the battlefield longer, for example. This cycle repeats at 50%, and really the only thing that changes are the order of his 6 attacks. And remember, anything that was empowered from the last phase will stay empowered for the rest of the fight. At 10%, Ceres gains his Defiance bar once more, but this time, after breaking it, begins a race to the finish. The entire group will begin taking ongoing constant damage, which hurts a lot more if he has several stacks of empowered. The only thing you can do here is out-heal and out-DPS and kill Ceres before he kills you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this quick guide helpful. See you next time!